Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Cassandra Crawley Mayo, and welcome to my Is Your Way in Your Way podcast. You all know, for those who listen often, as this is the podcast for my listeners who want to move forward in their lives, overcome obstacles, mitigate self imposed barriers and external barriers so that you can live your best life, the life you were ordained to live, the life that's going to give you fulfillment. If some of you are living your best life, I think that's a beautiful thing. But yet you may have just one thing that you're trying to overcome or an obstacle. It's just that one thing that you would love to overcome so that you can move forward with your life. If that's the case, this is the podcast for you as well. Now, also this podcast is we explore topics that relates to your personal growth and self-improvement. And the topic for today is titled, This Little Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yeah, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everything I do, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, everything I do, I'm gonna let it shine. Everything I do, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Hey, listeners, listen to this. I was in preparation for my podcast today, right? About a couple of days ago, I was thinking about what was I going to talk about today that will inspire and encourage my listeners. Well, all of a sudden, that song popped in my heart. And I haven't heard that song in years. I don't even know the last time I heard that song. And then all of a sudden, somebody said, well, why don't you sing that on your podcast? And I was like, oh, you got to be out of your mind. Me? I'm not a singer. And who wants to hear me sing? And what does that have to do with encouraging and inspiring people? I was just dumbfounded by even the thought of it. I had gotten to a point where I started having anxiety about it. You know, I was feeling so compelled to go ahead and do that, but I was afraid. I had this fear like, oh my gosh, oh no, I was so concerned about what people would think. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. It was just unbelievable. It's kind of like, think about this. You've had ideas, right? There's certain things that had come into your heart that you wanted to do that was tugging at you, burning. You were like on fire that you knew you should do this, but you wouldn't do it, like reconciling a relationship, forgiving somebody, or asking for forgiveness, or starting a business, starting a podcast, being a hairstylist. I don't know. But yet you have these ideas, but we continue to be stuck with them. We don't want to make a move. We just keep those ideas in our heads and we just kind of get stuck. So, those are the type of emotions that we have when we have something that makes us uncomfortable. Now, don't you think me singing that song made me comfortable? Absolutely not. I was like, girl, you are out of your mind if you think you're going to sing a song on a podcast. Who's ever heard of such, right? So anyway, I thought about this scripture. And the scripture says, let your light shine before men that they may see your great works. And I thought about that and I was like, you know what? If I sing on this podcast, it definitely wasn't of my doing. Somebody greater than me put this in me in order to do it. So that's what I did. And then I also thought about his lamp to my feet gives me light to the path of my direction. So I said, okay, all right, I'm surrendering this and I'm going to do this because, first of all, I knew I was in my way because I didn't want to do it, almost didn't do it. And you may say you shouldn't have done it, but you know what? I did it. And as long as it's something legal, ethical, and moral, why not? What did I have to lose? This right here podcast could be maybe, I don't know, one of my best ones, or maybe it's inspiring you, or maybe you have somebody and know somebody where it would inspire them. I'm not sure, but that's my confession. I was in my way, but now it's done. Now, many of you know my goal and my passion is to bless a generation of women to transition to do something different in their lives, to have a more fulfilled life, okay? Have a purposeful life. That's what I want because I had a life where I felt I wasn't really living out my purpose, but I knew there was something else I could do, but I had this myself being in my way and I didn't do it. So I'm gonna talk about something, and I thought about whether I should, but for the men who are listening, this is what I'm getting ready to say has nothing to do with me bashing men. Now, I'm going to talk about why I believe women are so powerful. And some of you may believe that, and some of you may not. I don't know, but this is my thing. And that's why I was inspired to even write this book, because I wanted to inspire and support women and for them to start living their lives to the fullest. And you know what? And women, well, let me finish with the men. Men, if you know a woman in your life that you think this message would be a blessing, please share it. It could be your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, your niece. I don't know. But I want to kind of talk about the power of a woman. We are so powerful. And I want us to get that. I want us to understand that, because anytime there is somebody that can conceive, carry, and deliver a baby, can't tell me that's not miraculous, right? I mean, just kind of think about what we were created to do. In the beginning of time, they said we were created out of the bone, the rib, so to speak. So we're like the helpmeet. Just think about all the things as women that we do, that we can do, that we must do. Look how we are just so, I just, we're so powerful. We can do multiple things. We are nurturers. It kind of think about this. Whenever a child or anybody wants to give accolades, they always say, "Hey, mom," or Mother's Day. Just think of the percentage of cards that go out to mothers or mother figures, and more than a father would get on Father's Day. So as women, I don't want us to succumb to a wasted, unfulfilled life. Now, just think, if you have an idea, if it's legal, if it's ethical, and if it's moral, what do you have to lose? Come on. I bet you had an idea this morning. I bet you had an idea this whole week. You've been thinking about doing something. I should do this. I should do that. I should do this because I know it'll be more fulfilling. I should do this because I want to serve. I feel better when I serve. It's not always about me and all the talents and gifts that's bestowed upon me that I can do, but yet I'm not doing it. So there's somebody out there, ladies, somebody out there that's waiting for you to do what it is that you're supposed to do, to be a blessing to other women, to other people, to other children, without a doubt. And you know that. So don't and stop living a life of waste. I know I am telling you, not what somebody told me. I'm telling you what I know. There's somebody There's an idea. Go ahead, go out there, go ahead and do it. Think about it. As I end this podcast, I want you to not only think about, write down what it is that you want to do, that you know, in order for you to move forward in your life. What is it? You know it's something. Just write it down, ladies. And I also want to encourage you to look and go on my website, www.cassandracrawley.com. I wrote a blog on the power of a woman, and you must read The Power of a Woman. Also on my blog, I associated it with a song. And I want you to go on YouTube and listen to that song and just resonate with the song, resonate with the content of the blog, and knowing that what you're reading is just so right. So I tell you this again, let your light shine everywhere you go and everything that you do. That's your charter for this week. Let your light shine. Even sing that song. Sing it to yourself. Just sing it, hum it in your spirit. And I guarantee it'll lift your soul up. And that, I believe many of you could stand a lifting up at this moment, right? So I want to close our session for today. Bye for now, like I always say. And remember, let your light shine.